if we're found guilty on all crimes, like 147 years in jail. This one just seemed like such a big injustice. You know, it's so simple. I gave you my Legos, you gave nothing back to me. I say it all the time that this isn't really about Legos. Legos is kind of just like the clickbait, you know what I mean? The real story is corporate greed, police corruption, Mormon mafia. Everything was done legally. We didn't break any laws in this documentary. We created a lottery in order to turn it from a civil offense to a criminal offense. But it's not really who's right wins, it's who has more money wins.
You created a company called We Steal From Old People, and their tagline was bricks and minifigs.
Yeah, that's our motto.
So now anytime someone looks them up, it says We Steal From Old People.
They tried taking my YouTube money, they tried taking We Steal From Old People merch money, and they also tried taking the GoFundMe money. Bricks and minifig, bricks and minifigs, bricks and minifig, bricks and minifig, bricks and minifig, bricks and minifig, We Steal From Old People, bricks and minifigs. They should just give the Legos back. They shouldn't be able to keep it. They should give it back.
Dude, thanks for making the time.
Yeah, what up?
What up? Thanks for coming, man.
How's it going?
I'm good. This is the first official Channel 5 headquarters shoot right now.
Nice, yeah.
Just seeing behind the curtain where the editing operation takes place. So for somebody unfamiliar, what's going on with the lawsuit?
Oh my gosh. I don't really know. Right now I'm kind of just letting the lawyers handle it, but I guess this company stole a bunch of money from this old man, and we asked them nicely to give it back, and they didn't. So we basically just did a bunch of crazy, what I call legal loopholes to try to get it back. Everything was done legally. We didn't break any laws in this documentary. We just did legal loopholes to try and get it back. We created a lottery in order to give it out as a prize, to turn it from a civil offense to a criminal offense, stuff like that. We divided the debt between 10 of us to sue them for 10 times, taking the small claims court to get the process done faster, stuff like that. And they didn't like what we did, I guess. So they're suing us. Court document, it's 300 pages, our lawsuit is, and there's 15 crimes. I put it in ChatGPT and it says, if we're found guilty on all crimes, it's 147 years in jail, I think.
Collectively.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to get us more civilly, though, not criminally. So I don't think I'll have to go to jail, but they want, I think, minimum $10 million per person is what they were saying. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty crazy. I think they're trying to get us on extortion, commercial interference, defamation. I think there's 14 things they're getting. That's just the first ones that come to my head. But yeah, it's 15 charges that they have against us. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Stalking. What are some other ones?
I'm being sued for stalking too.
Really? One of the things I'm getting charged for is also residential picketing. It's picketing outside someone's residence. So I put a little tiny sign. It was 2 feet long, and it was on a public property. So the HOA didn't own it. It was this little strip of land that's just owned by anyone in the public who pays taxes, So I put it there, but they said because he could see it from his house, it's technically considered residential picketing because I'm outside his house making a statement about him, I guess, which was illegal.
Even though it's on separate property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could see it from his house.
And so the big they in this story is bricks and minifigs.
Yeah. It's like GameStop for Legos. They're not affiliated with Nintendo or any gaming company, but they just resell games that have already been used for a profit. Mm-hmm. So they just do the same thing with Legos. So if someone buys Legos from Lego, they use it. It's like a thrift store kind of, and you give them your old Legos and they resell it for a profit.
But it's very curated. So if you wanted to buy a very specific Lego, they'd have they monopolize the brokerage of vintage Legos.
I'm not really too sure. I'm kind of just more into the corruption part of it. I don't really know the business model too much, but maybe, I don't know.
Because Lego produces its sets in limited numbers, experts say some of the rarer sets can sell for thousands of dollars.
So this is from 2003. This is the Cloud City set, which is kind of the holy grail of Star Wars fans. There was about 3,500 of these made back in the day because people looked at it and said, $100 for a Lego toy? No way. But now it's, pushing 10 grand because of the condition of the box and the collectability of this.
So going back to the very beginning, so you came into contact with, was it a father and son?
Just the son.
Okay.
The whole thing was his dad was really sick, and any stress could make him more sick. So they didn't want to stress him out.
For those of you guys wondering what the heck is going on here, let me break a few things down. This is Mr. Benjamin Schneider, also known as Reckless Ben, a YouTube creator known for his investigative videos that expose organizations and businesses that he believes have acted in bad faith, infiltrating cults sometimes, and even Scientology itself. Recently, Ben was reached out to by Brian Mansell and his father Ed, because back in 2023, Brian had put what's described as an extraordinarily valuable collection of sealed Lego Star Wars sets and rare minifigurines, apparently worth around $200K, on consignment with a company called Bricks and Minifigs. But in 2024, Bricks and Minifigs store ownership changes, and allegedly allegedly they refused to honor the agreement and pay out the Mansells. Once the Mansells made Ben aware of the situation, he went to work and began posting his investigations on YouTube until the story blew up. The story quickly reached far beyond Ben's subscriber base, accumulating millions of views across YouTube and other platforms as other creators, news outlets, and LEGO fans began covering the whole debacle. Since then, there's been a cascade of lawsuits, both civil and criminal, resulting in Ben's arrest. But there's still been no final resolution yet. But because I'm currently going through my own lawsuit, I thought it was a great time to talk to another creator going through one as well. All right, I think you're all caught up. Back to Ben.
So the son was the one dealing with this whole thing, and the whole thing was, let's keep this a secret from our dad because we don't want to make him like more sick with all this bad information.
And how did you come across this lead in the first place?
I just put at the end of my last video, just said, hey, if anyone has a problem that the police can't solve, hit me up. I made an email just for these emails and they can type in their like stories. And we were actually on our way to Burning Man and it started raining. And so it was like a 26-hour wait to get inside. So we're just waiting in our car for like 20 hours and we're just all 5 of us are just going through the emails. We're all logged in and just starring all the ones we thought were cool. And this one just seemed like such a big injustice.
Bricks and Minifigs knows that this family, especially with the father's health, doesn't have the resources to take them to court. And almost mockingly, they've since flooded all of their social media with tons of pictures of Star Wars Legos.
It's so simple. I gave you my Legos, you gave nothing back to me. Like, that seems like stealing, you know? Like, so I was like, like how can, and he's like, the business uses all these ways to justify it. But I'm like, at the end of the day, he gave them something and they didn't give him back what they were supposed to. So like, it just seems like the easiest case ever. Like, I'll do this one, you know?
Yeah, so Bricks and Minifigs took custody of the collection.
Yeah.
And didn't pay him the money after selling some and keeping others?
Yeah. So it's supposed to be on consignment, which Bricks and Minifigs claim they don't do, which is part of the reason why they took it. But the way it's supposed to work is once a Lego gets sold, Brian gets paid, I think, 60 to 70%, and they get paid around 30 to 40%. I forget what the actual like detail was, but they keep a small percentage of each sale. Basically, the new owners came in, they're like, we don't do consignments. We buy, sell, trade. That's their logo. They're like, because we don't do consignments, so we get to keep all the stuff, even though they didn't pay for it, which like if they don't do consignments, they should just give the Legos back. They shouldn't be able to keep it. They should give it back.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
Ultimately, that's a business thing and not necessarily yours. Brandon will take, because taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment life.
Yeah, I just think it's awesome that you have this like natural desire to use your platform to kind of like shed a light on these, I guess, smaller interpersonal conflicts that like are kind of reflective of larger social problems, right? Like people being taken advantage of by business conglomerates.
Yeah, I say it all the time that this isn't really about Legos. Legos is kind of just like the clickbait, you know what I mean? Of like, it's kind of the backbone that holds this thing, or it's like the subject matter, but the real story is corporate greed. Like, we have more power than you, and we know that we can do something wrong and we can get away with it. So we're going to, not because like, we're not going to do the morally right thing. We're going to get away with it because we have power. And then this next couple of videos get into more into police corruption and maybe people helping each other of the same religion, even though they're not really like the good guys. Like, I'll help you out because like I look up to you in my church, you know? So it kind of gets more into that stuff. But yeah, the Legos is just kind of the area this all takes place in, you know?
It's the tip of the iceberg. And as you travel down.
Oh, it's a great way to describe it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. I went to journalism school, so.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom of the iceberg is what some have called the Mormon Mafia.
Yeah. Like police corruption, Mormon Mafia, like corporate greed.
And just so people know, you don't mean Mormon Mafia in like an organized crime, you know, Godfather sense. You mean just LDS members looking after each other on a high court level.
Obviously, like something really bad happened and everyone has their own theories of like why this is happening. My theory is that Joshua Johnson, he's the owner of the store, that's kind of the main villain of this story. And he is what's known as the High Council. So I think it's like some high up like Mormon thing.
He's been fired from Bricks and Minifigs. Is Josh getting fired from the Mormon church? Released from his High Council calling.
So if a police officer comes to his house and the police officer is also Mormon and he has 2 people to choose from, 2 people are telling me different stories, one of them's lying, one of them's telling the truth, am I going to believe this YouTuber YouTubers kind of have a known reputation for exaggerating the truth to get clicks and stuff, or the person I look up to in my church? Oh, I'm going to believe probably the person I look up to in my church. You know, it's not really like there's like an undercover deal going on and stuff and they're paying each other off. But I think it just comes down to that, you know, he looks more trustworthy. He's in a suit and tie and I'm kind of a goofball. Like I'm wearing this like the CEO on my shirt. I just do goofy things. It doesn't mean I'm lying. It just means I'm goofy, you know, but the police officer takes like my goofiness as like I'm not credible and I'm making up stories and stuff.
And what's the main lie that that man is telling?
Oh my gosh. It's like, I think it'd be easier to say like, what truths does he tell? Pretty much just almost everything that's come out of his mouth at this point, I think has been a lie. I don't think I've heard him tell the truth really at all. I think the main ones are, I mean, his main claim is right now is, oh, we tried to give the Legos back to Brian, but Brian didn't want the Legos back.
We've been, working to try and work with Mr. Mansell for a good little while. We've asked for documentation, and every time we ask for that up to this point, we seem to kind of then lose the connection. But we continue to reach out to try and, get towards a resolution with the Mansell family on this matter.
So that's like a big one. And then another one he's running with is, well, the previous owner stole the Legos before they had, like she sold all of them and then kept the money for herself.
Crystal Law was a former franchisee of Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah.
She took Mr. Mansell's Lego, sold it, didn't pay him, she has his money.
I got
we
the
don't
easy way.
have the Lego. Crystal sold the Lego.
Like if there was anything that had been done that was untoward by the previous franchisee, if that individual had sold more than they let on and did not pay Mr. Mansell, we've offered to compensate him for the loss of compensation that should have been given to him. So we've tried to make multiple offers, and hopefully we'll be able to get them to the table so we can discuss it.
Which could be true. Like some of that actually could be true. So I think a lot of his lies are based in reality. So maybe the previous owner did actually sell some and didn't pay Brian, but at the same time, she also sent a bunch of like time-stamped pictures of a lot of the Legos in the store that they still had that they're claiming were never in the store.
Star Wars sets. Still in the process of getting them organized and priced, but they're here and it's a lot.
It could be, I don't know, it's hard to tell like how much is corporate, how much is the previous owner, but what we do know for sure is that the corporate, because of those timestamps pictures, corporate is responsible for at least those Legos that were still in the store at that point.
He promised us a full inventory right away. We've never received it.
Just absolutely nothing. So we've never gotten anything. We've never gotten an inventory list.
Yeah, the previous owner who got her entire store stolen from her by corporate, I mean, she's legally required to get sent an inventory list, and even she, 2 years later, has not gotten it yet.
And what is the current state of the criminal case?
They say it could take up to like 2 years, maybe. It's in what they call pre-trial. So I show up to court and they're like, you have the right to a lawyer, right? And I'm like, yep. And they're like, okay, we'll see you in 2 months. Or I show up and they're like, do you plan on representing yourself? And I'm like, I have a lawyer. And they're like, okay, see you in 2 months. And it's been like 30 seconds each time. It's so stupid.
And like this experience of being sued frivolously for no reason and just like enduring this lawfare, what's the main thing that you've learned?
The more I get sued, the more it helps my career, I guess. I don't know. So I welcome any more lawsuits. So any other companies that I take down in the future, feel free to sue me. I would much appreciate it. Don't learn the lesson from Bricks and Minifigs. Just keep suing me because it's really fun. What I found out is it's only going to get better from here because there's a thing called discovery. And there's also a thing called a deposition where we get to ask them any question and they can't lie. So right now, like as you saw, I went to the corporate offices and I had this whole conversation with Ammon, and I think pretty much all of it was lies. And me and my friends would always joke about like how awesome would it be if we were both set up to lie detector tests and we had like an hour-long conversation. Like that would solve this whole thing, Deposition is kind of like that, where if they lie, I think they go to jail, or it's like criminally, like they literally cannot lie in a deposition, and I get to ask them whatever I want. So hopefully it gets to that point, where, because then like my dream would come true where we're like both strapped to like the lie detectors, because the TRO kind of destroyed me. It sucks. I had like all these videos ready to post, and then they hit me with the TRO.
So the TRO is what kept you from telling the story for a while?
Yeah. That's why I just kind of went silent. I was just like, hey, it's illegal for me to talk. That's why I kept referring to him as a mystery company. This mystery company that I am no longer allowed to talk about. Because part of the TRO was I couldn't say anything about Bricks and Minifigs. But I could talk about a mystery company because then no one knows what I'm talking about. Even though they did know what I'm talking about, I didn't talk about them. So I just said, like, I'm not allowed to talk about this mystery company, and yeah.
All right, now I want to talk about something before we keep going because it actually relates to this story quite well. So as per Reckless Ben's coverage, the Mansells had nothing. They had a problem, a stack of paperwork, and no way through it. But then, out of nowhere, came Ben. 6 6.5 million people who watched his videos, a fundraiser, new lawyers, and the entire internet deciding at one time that they cared about this situation. And I will say, whenever the legal stuff began happening to Channel 5, a lot of you guys showed up for us too. And I will never take that for granted, so seriously, thank you guys. But here's the thing I keep thinking about and realizing. Fundraising legal defense funds is a beautiful thing, but shouldn't necessarily be the plan every time. Because as a public figure, it was a bit easier, but many of you guys are not. And if you ever go through something like this, and plenty of you will, the question is not who would you want in your corner, the question is who would actually come to help. For almost everybody with a job, 2 kids, 5 roommates, and a pesky landlord, the answer is probably nobody. Most people don't have a YouTube channel. Most people don't have millions of followers. But what almost everybody does have is a phone, which brings us to today's sponsor, CoverOn. CoverOn is an identity theft and financial scam protection service. It watches the dark web as well as your credit and tells you early when your name shows up exactly where it shouldn't. And when something happens, there's a real person there whose entire job is working your case with you, and there's money behind it. It's up to $50,000 during cyber extortion, 25 grand to cover home title insurance fraud, and up to $10,000 for financial scams. As some of you guys may know, it can cost up to $2 million digging out of that hole after getting your identity stolen. We're talking legal fees, bummer, lost wages, bummer, but in the case of Reckless Ben, the internet is the reason the family got hurt. But sadly, the internet is also where somebody's gonna come for your information. It cuts both ways. And only one of those things is statistically guaranteed to happen to you. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. The World Wide Web is a dark place, so get protected. CoverOn. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just scan the code on the screen or go to coveron.com/C5 and use code C5 because one scam can cost you everything. So protect yourself now. The first 100 users also get 20% off with code C5 at coveron.com/C5. Again, that's coveron.com/C5. All right, back to the video.
So why exactly did the TRO expire? Did you appeal?
I think our lawyers talked to their lawyers and we basically said like, hey, Ben had all these videos ready, like, because I think one of the main reasons the TRO got approved was because of how crazy they were saying I was going. Like, I read the document, it said I was making bomb threats. It said I was trying to burn the building down and shoot the manager, and not just the manager, but everyone inside the building, you know?
If you don't give it back, I'm going to burn the place down. Or we're going to burn the place down. Or I'll kill you. It's Ben Snyder who's been the one engaged in this behavior.
I think if you're a court and you hear that, you're like, oh, well, we probably should stop this guy. He's a lunatic. Maybe by stopping this guy, we can save some lives, you know? So you can't really fault the court too much for that. But we know they're lying. They know they're lying. So I think our lawyers are kind of just like, hey, you guys lied to falsely take away Ben's First Amendment right. You guys are now going to be responsible for any damages he occurs because of this. And every day that passes is lost revenue from the videos he can't put out. So at that point, I think Bricks and Minifigs was kind of like, oh, like they were contacting the judge, like, please give him his freedom of speech back. Like, we don't want to be responsible for these damages.
Whoa.
I think that's what happened. That's just kind of what the lawyers told me, but I wasn't involved in that conversation. But from my knowledge, that's how it happened.
So what went through your head when you're like, all right, I'm going to publicize these fuckers who are suing me. I'm going to put this on wax. I'm going to go through with a full expose.
Well, they weren't suing me till after the video came out.
Oh, okay. But they were contacting you privately, telling you to stop talking.
This all happened like after the second video got put out.
But you had a TRO before the first video came out.
No, it was after.
Okay. So you decided to just go ham immediately.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because that was part of the first video was like, I'm going to get them to sue me, you know, like that was the whole, like, we steal from old people company. I was like, maybe if they sue me, then I can take them to Discovery, you know.
So people don't know, you created a company called We Steal From Old People, and their tagline was Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah, that's our motto, yeah.
So you created a motto to permanently corrupt the SEO optimization of this company. So now anytime someone looks them up, it says We Steal From Old People.
Yeah, well, the point was just, I just really liked their business model. So their business model was they steal from old people. There's like multiple times them doing this. So I was like, well, if they can get away with it and make a bunch of money, maybe I should. So I set up my We Steal From Old People company. And then where did you get the inspiration? Bricks and Minifigs, that's our tagline. And then there's no law that says whether like the company name has to be above or beneath the motto, you know, like there's no like law that says that, you know, so it's just We Steal From Old People and then Bricks and Minifigs. So that's just our motto, you know, like we just take heavy inspiration from them, you know?
It kind of reminds me of whenever you were going up against Scientology and you created your own religion to avoid liability.
Yeah, that's like probably one of my favorite things is just like getting sued and then figuring out ways to get around the lawsuit. But the thinking on that, so they were suing me for defamation.
Scientology.
Yeah.
Very scary organization.
Yeah, because I basically just settled the things that happen inside Scientology. Obviously, I could have gone the route where it's like, it's not defamation if it's true, you know, but then I was living in my car at the time. I couldn't even afford a house. How am I going to afford a lawyer, you know? So I was like, Scientology has millions of dollars for this. Like, even though they're in the wrong, kind of the same thing that's happening here. It's not really who's right wins. It's who has more money wins, you know? And I realized that. So I was like, okay, so how do I get out of this easier than like hiring lawyers and stuff? I was like, well, I could create my own religion. Well, I looked into what Scientology does. So one of the things I experienced was they'll put you in a sauna for like 8 hours a day, right? And they can say that it's healthy to be in a sauna for this long, even though people literally will die doing this. And so normally the family could come and sue and be like, hey, you told us to go in, it was healthy to be in a sauna for 8 hours a day. That's false advertising. And normally I can sue, but no one can sue Scientology for this because they're a religion. They believe that it's healthy, you know? So they're like, well, that's just what we believe. And if I sue them for what they believe in, that's discriminating them against their religion. So I was like, why don't I just Uno reverse them? I'm going to do the same thing. I made the Church of Scientology sucks. We just believe that Scientology sucks. So now if I say that, they can't sue me for that because that's just what I believe in. If you sue me for what I believe in, you're discriminating me against my religion.
Don't you have to have a god, technically?
Yeah, we believe in the giant plunger in the sky. Well, we were like, if they can believe in a giant alien in the sky that a science fiction writer wrote about it, it should be obvious that it doesn't exist. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna make something even more blatantly obvious it doesn't exist, like the giant plunger in the sky. I think that was based off like the Area 51 thing when, I think you were there when we did the giant plunger thing. I like led the raid with the plunger and.
Yeah, dude, that's the first time that we met.
Is my only tattoo I have is the plunger cross.
Hell yeah.
I did a really bad job. We did like the prison tat where you like dip a needle in ink and stab yourself. So I did a really bad job. It's like the worst tattoo in the world probably, but.
Yeah, I think it's pretty legendary given the backstory.
Yeah.
So you told me that was your first video, the Area 51 raid?
I think so. I mean, I had a couple of videos before that, but they were all just like slackline videos. But that was my first video that wasn't about slacklining.
How was the tournament in Mexico?
Oh, that was fun. I went there for a slacklining tournament, not to escape the warrants because that would be illegal for me to do that. So yeah, that's the whole reason I went to Mexico was the slacklining thing. It wasn't like I just did that also while I was in Mexico escaping the police. It was just, that's why I was there. Well, I'm in Mexico now and the American police have no authority here.
What were those warrants for?
What was it? I think it was the one where I threatened to shoot and kill everyone inside the building. It was the extortion case or the criminal obstruction. And
just to clarify, this relates to bricks and minifigs.
Yeah, and that's not.
I was like, is there a third thing?
Well, that in my last video, Ammon, the CEO, said that I went into the building and I was gonna shoot everyone if they didn't give the Legos back and burn down the building. And so that's what my warrant was for the commercial obstruction, and then also for not leaving when they asked me to leave. Even though in the footage you can see that I do leave when they ask me to leave. So those were the two things they were trying to get me on. And yeah, just so luckily I was in Mexico. It's not that I escaped to Mexico because that would have been very illegal for me. So I was just there for the slacklining competition.
No, I remember like, you know, because I've met a lot of like different content creators throughout the years. And it's kind of sad to see how a lot of people come and go. You know, they like try, you know, they don't give it their all. Or maybe they give it their all for like 6 months and it doesn't pan out the way they expected it to. And you kind of never see them again. They like work a corporate job. And, you know, shout out to them for even trying in the first place. But you're one of those people that like, I just kept seeing, you know, over time. And I kept seeing you do like really sick shit as time went on. I think the Scientology moment was the first one where I was like, oh, this guy is not just like a prankster or like a typical, you know, influencer kid that I would have met at somewhere like Area 51. And then I saw the McKay Manor stuff and I was like, damn, this dude is really like trying as hard as he can. And like one of my favorite quotes of yours is not about skill or talent necessarily, it's about persistence.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like I agree with you. People are like, you're so good at interviewing. I'm like, I'm actually not that good at interviewing. I just do it all the time and I haven't stopped. And so I feel like you've steadily like tried to make actual change with your stuff. Like I feel like you think Scientology is a messed up organization.
Oh yeah.
You thought McKay Manor was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
And I feel like you think the same thing about bricks and minifigs.
Not when I first started McKay. I actually thought McKay Manor was cool when I first did it. I just want to do like a cool like challenge. You know, I love challenging myself because he's advertising there's like a 2-mile zip line, like a giant bungee jump. Like you said, there was going to be like a half-a-mile like underwater haunted house that you'd go through underwater. Like it seemed like awesome. You know, I was like, I'm down.
Somewhere deep in Southern California, there's a place that brings your worst nightmares to life. The exact location is a closely guarded secret. It is the most extreme horror experience on the planet, where people's deepest fears become reality.
People want to do this? and I provide it.
And then, yeah, I got there and it turns out the whole thing was a scam.
This is the fun stuff.
Really? Yeah. It was just boring.
So your issue with McKay Manor wasn't that you think like the waterboarding and the electricity stuff they're doing is messed up. You thought it was a letdown and false advertising.
Yeah.
So okay. So to clarify, you wanted it to be worse.
Well, I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be what he advertised.
It's not fun for everybody.
So what he does is he fakes having a haunted house, and then he'll hire like people to like beat you up and stuff, and yeah, like waterboard you and stuff. And then at that point, it just becomes like torture, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
I could see like a world where it's like, okay, like there's this really fun stunt, and I happen to get hurt doing this stunt, but that wasn't what was supposed to happen. Like the stunt was supposed to be like a giant zip line or something, or a giant bungee jump, you know, something like, and if I happen to get hurt, then that was an accident, you know? But what McKay Manor does is I think he said he has like voices in his head, and the only time the voices stop is when he's hurting other people. So he goes there intentionally to hurt people for his like benefit, not for the person going through's benefit. It's like for his benefit, you know? And so you're just like a victim in this thing, you know? And
so he's a sadist. He's not trying to create an experience.
Yeah, he's not trying to he's trying to create an experience for him.
Okay.
And then he lies to people to get them up so he can like beat them up and stuff. And that's not fun. That's not like
it's not cool at all. You were pissed there was no rats.
Yeah, like that would have I would have done. It would have been cool. I mean, like Fear Factor does stuff like that. Like, I can see that being like a Fear Factor stunt. You know, like, oh, there's a maze of rats. You gotta swim through them. You know, like I think that'd be fun. I'd sign up for something like that on Fear Factor. You know, like not because I like pain or anything. Like I hate pain, but I like doing things that are hard, you know, and something where you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to look back on this in like 5 years and be like, that was epic what I did, you know? I mean, as long as there's no like animal cruelty with the rats and stuff, that would suck. But
yeah.
I probably wouldn't be excited actually for the rat one because like their claws might hurt and stuff. But some of the other stuff he was advertising seemed really cool, I feel like.
What do you think's the coolest thing he was advertising that you were let down by not existing?
Probably the 2 mile zip line. That one seemed fun. Or like the underwater haunted house, that'd be cool. He said there was like a room where like 50 tarantulas are like all climbing on you, stuff like that. He said there was like a tightrope walk that you have to walk. I was like, oh, that one, like I slackline, like I'll be really good at that one, you know? Just stuff like that.
Whenever you do these kind of things and seek out these experiences, how much of it do you think is about like, you know, pushing your own limits and taking yourself to the extreme versus just like capturing content that you know will succeed online?
I don't really think about like what will succeed online. If you look at my history, like pretty much everything I've done is just because I think it's fun, and then it usually always ends up flopping. I think this time I got lucky with the Lego thing that people just happen to like Legos, because I feel like I do all of these antics I do in the Lego video and all my previous videos, you know? I just never had that like clickbait of the Lego, you know? Because it's always just like weird things that people don't care about. But I think if I did try to do things that people I think will go viral that I don't really care about, I think I would have burned out and stopped YouTube. That might have been the problem with all the people, because you're like, people show up, they try for like 5 years, doesn't work out, and they stop. I think they stopped because they didn't achieve the results they wanted.
Yeah.
But the results I want isn't really like, oh, like money and fame and stuff. It's like having fun filming the videos. As long as I'm having fun filming the videos, that's like my result that I want. And I've gotten that every video, which is why I haven't stopped. So even though like I've been sharing like a room for half my career with like the smallest room. We like put 2 people in this room, and I think we put like 10 people in like a 5-person house. We were just living terribly, like eating like the lowest of the low food, just barely enough to survive and stay healthy. And like, I think you only do that if like I would have stopped if I cared about like money and fame, you know, cause I don't know, I think whatever money and fame will buy me is like going to satisfy me way less than like, I'll just like, because if I make money and like get famous, I'm just going to do more cool stuff, you know, with that money. So it's like, if I'm already doing cool stuff, why am I going to sacrifice that to make money and then just be boring? It'd be stupid.
Yeah, money's a lot cooler than fame.
Yeah.
Because at least if you get paid, you can like give your mom money and jobs to your friends. Whereas like fame is just annoying.
Yeah, I guess eventually I have to start thinking about like building a family and stuff.
Eventually, but for now, just have fun. I wanted to ask you, what's the most fun you've ever had filming a video?
Ooh, I think the Lego one.
Really?
Like,
of all the videos?
I think the Lego one in McKay Manor. And the reason for that is, so it stops becoming fun once they find out I'm a YouTuber, because then they can just block me and ignore me, right? That's what always happens.
Who can?
Just so when
interview sources.
So when Scientology, I was doing that. Once they found out about like my secret spy glasses, I'm kicked out of Scientology.
Are you attempting to investigate Scientology?
What kind of glasses are these?
What kind of glasses are these?
Has he been filming?
And every time we go up, they just stand there with their arms crossed and don't say a word. It's like, well, we can't get content out of that. That's what happened with like, we infiltrated this cult called like the 12 Tribes. Same thing. Once they found out we were like journalists, they're like, okay, like we just won't give them any more
You went
content.
to Yellow Deli and stuff?
Yeah,
I gotcha.
And then, but the thing with the Lego video was they found out that like we're these like, basically just like what our schemes are, you know? And then but they can't just close down their store. You know, they have to stay open. So we could just keep sending people inside to like try new schemes to get the stuff back. So we were able to take that one like really far just because like we got lucky that they just had to keep the store. They couldn't hide from us.
I saw you used a body double at one point.
I can't just give up on the plan before being sued. So I did a switcheroo with this guy. He's wearing my exact same clothes and his legal name is also Ben.
Oh yeah. We had so many plans also that we wanted to do that, but we just couldn't because they started arresting us. But yeah, we were able to take that one further than the other videos, I think, because they just couldn't block us, I guess.
Have they given any of the Legos back?
Not from my knowledge, no. I think they're all just sitting in that closed store. They closed the store down. They could just unlock the door and it wouldn't even hurt them at all. But.
Yeah. Have they made any kind of statement?
Oh, they make lots of statements. Their main statement is, we tried to give Brian the Legos back, but sadly he didn't want his own Legos back that he's begging for. He didn't want them for some reason. And then the other statement is, well, the previous owner, she sold all the Legos. She sold them all and then didn't pay Brian anything. So their first statement is, we don't have the Legos. And their second statement is, well, we do have the Legos. So it's like both statements can't be true. You know, it's like, what one is it? And even then, I think also both of those statements are probably both false. I want to do a bit for my next video where I contact their PR team because they're paying tons of money for PR right now. And so they're paying this PR team like tons of money. And in response, the PR team is giving them the worst advice ever. Yeah. The PR team is basically just telling them to lie. So I want to make this like offer that I would honestly do Bricks and Minifigs PR for them for free because what would I get out of it? Like Brian would probably get the Legos back if they do the right thing. It'll help their business. But I think I could like get them out of this garbage, but they just have to listen to a few things.
What would you tell them to do if you were their crisis PR consultant?
Probably first to get out the inventory, because they claim they made an inventory list, but they're like terrified to give it to anyone. So the first thing would be like, hey, like probably make the inventory list public so everyone can see what's going on, like what Legos they have, what Legos they don't have. That would probably be the first thing. And then if there is inventory on the inventory list, actually give it to Brian. Don't just say, oh, we tried to give it to Brian. He didn't want it, because I guarantee Brian does want it. So actually try to give the inventory that they do still have to Brian. Those would be the first two things. The third thing I would say would be to do the chicken dance, I think. I think that would add humility to them to be like, oh, we embarrassed all these people, so now we're going to embarrass ourselves, and maybe it kind of levels out the playing field, you know? And
it's actually a pretty good idea.
I think if they did the chicken dance, it would gain back so much public support, I think, because they would be taking kind of accountability for like what they did wrong.
Or just a self-imposed humiliation ritual can like bring them out of like villain status and humanize them a bit.
Because now they're goofy, you know, and it's like, oh, well, that guy doing the chicken dance can't be a villain, you know, he's like this goofy little side character that was just stupid, you know. And I think that would increase their PR a ton if they did the chicken dance. Yeah, that was just the first things I would do. But I feel like there's more if I spent some time brainstorming.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is like the crisis PR industry, and I have friends who work in it, is super exploitative. Anyone involved in controversy or any kind of situation, especially when it comes to like digital media, they sell resolution to people. They say, don't worry about this, like put this in our hands. Here's $100,000 invoice, like we'll take care of this for you. And what they do is just make it infinitely worse because it's so impersonal. I think it may have worked pre-internet. You know what I mean? Like having a lawyer maybe bully someone into being quiet or make some like statement to the newspaper behind like a lawyer. But nowadays, like the easiest way to air out the truth about any situation is the Reckless Ben route, the Afro Man route, the route that I took like 2 weeks ago. And you see this like groundswell of support from your own community. And that in turn levels the pressure up on the very person that was trying to make you feel small with money. So it's just a crazy moment that we're in right now.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird that they're paying money to make their company worse. Like if they just would have said nothing, they would be better standing than they are right now. The advice this PR company, and I don't want to like talk garbage on the PR company because they probably have good intentions, but
yeah, they're old playbook though.
Yeah, but they're literally paying money to make their company worse. It's just like so weird to me. Like, why would I pay you to like hurt me? That makes no sense. But that's what they're doing, I guess.
I also saw that you made a GoFundMe too.
Yeah.
To help with legal defense funds.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I actually got arrested for that GoFundMe because they said I think cyber stalking was the official thing. I was putting the company on blast is what they said by making that GoFundMe. That harsh. And then the GoFundMe got taken down for a little bit, and then I did change it to Mystery Company instead of Bricks and Minifigs. So I was like, Brian put his Lego sets inside a mystery company and then didn't get paid for them. And then the GoFundMe was able to get back up again. But yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, the amount of support we got. I guess at first I made it for like $120,000 because that's what, from our knowledge, is what Brian still owed for his sets. And then I thought that once it hits that cap, it just like caps. It's like, oh, you reached your goal, congratulations, but people still kept donating. And so I called Brian. I'm like, hey, Brian, we reached the goal. Like, should we stop the GoFundMe? And he's like, well, actually, we're getting sued right now. I'm on the lawsuit, so I might need a couple $100,000 for a lawyer. And we're like, oh no. So like, it was this happy moment and then like a sad moment like 10 minutes later. And then we ended up just keeping the GoFundMe up because we all need lawyers now. So.
And you've been able to gain access to the money since then?
We put what's called in a legal trust because Bricks and Minifigs was trying to take my Patreon money. You saw the CEO come out and be like, you can't take it.
So after an extensive review and investigation by Patreon's trust and safety team, we have in fact, unfortunately determined that Bricks and Minifigs can stuff it. We're keeping Ben's page up.
They tried taking my YouTube money. They tried taking the We Steal From Old People merch money. And they also tried taking the GoFundMe money.
Jesus Christ.
So we basically put all that money in a legal trust. And now no matter what we do, even if we do like the worst thing in the world, it turns out we're super guilty, they can't take it until a court decides for them to take it. So they can't like pre-take it early like how they were trying to do with you, like they can't stop us from using it. From my knowledge, I've never done this legal stuff before. I'm just like everyone in the audience,
It's my first time getting sued in my whole life.
Yeah, I'm just saying what like lawyers have been telling me and stuff. But yeah, this is my first time of actually like for real getting sued. They're always like, oh, I'm going to sue you. And then I always get out of it before like we actually go to court. So yeah, I don't know any of this stuff either. But that's why it's fun, It's like we all get to learn together. And it's actually kind of cool that I don't know because then I can like show my learning process and the audience gets to learn with me,
Yeah, I didn't realize how like when someone's lying, they can, if they have enough money, they can just use the legal system to like bleed your pockets dry until you have to submit like on a total lie in civil court.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I've learned through this video is it's not who's right in court. The winner is who has the most money usually. I mean, who's right and wrong has a little bit to do with it, but a lot of it is money. It's like both, probably like 50-50 of both, I guess.
How did it feel to see such a groundswell of community support coming in through the GoFundMe?
I don't know. I was just busy like editing, I guess. I would check it for like 5 minutes in the morning. I don't really care about that stuff. I mean, it's cool that...
But I mean, all these people like resonate with your story and like they want to make sure that you're not going to get screwed over by the law.
Yeah, no, it's been like the most surreal, insane thing ever. Cause yeah, I don't know, like, especially for Brian, cause he's just like some local dude who doesn't want to be like famous or anything. He's just like, how the heck is this becoming like the biggest story ever? Like this is insane. Like it just, no one believes it. I don't know. It's definitely cool, but I don't know. I just want to do like cool and fun stuff. So it's kind of cool, like getting recognized and stuff now, but I think like the really cool thing is now I can like use all this to do like even cooler projects in the future,
Yeah, is there anything on the plate right now that you're super stoked about that you're willing to speak about on camera?
No, I'm still undercover.
Okay.
I could say it, but you have to censor it. But I mean, I could say it and get your reaction if you want. But
Yeah. I'll censor it and I will emote a little bit to the camera so they can see.
Nice. But I'm working on 12 projects side by side, and most of them are already filmed. The editing just takes so long. I'm like probably like 60 to 70% done with most of them, but most of them still like dead undercover, But it's a good one I did that you might like. We snuck into month like under. He was like,
oh Jesus.
He'd be like, we'd change the story, then we'd go back and then come back.
Oh my God. You guys are on a sick one. That's amazing. You need me to censor that.
Oh yeah, I can't even talk about that one yet.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, we'll just show my reaction.
We're dealing with 2 felonies per person on that. So
2 felonies per person?
In a misdemeanor. So felony stalking, felony eavesdropping, and misdemeanor trespassing.
Wow. I mean, this is the life you chose.
Yeah. And then will probably sue us after that one comes out too. But
yeah, I think you might be good in that department.
Really?
He doesn't have much bread to pull from right now.
Dang.
He just lost a major lawsuit.
I'm trying to think of another one you might like. There's just so many. It's kind of hard to like keep track of them.
Has there been any motion as far as what we talked about with me trying to get you into that one country?
Oh, I did tell you about that one. The guy reached out. I've been just kind of busy with some stuff, but that'll happen soon though. Yeah, you've been helping me out with another one. We can't say what that is yet, but we can.
You told me the premise.
We can say you're helping me though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew gave me like a huge win on it's like one of the biggest videos I'm working on. That's probably one of the biggest ones I'm doing.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that story pitch, I was like, man, that's going to be one of the best documentaries ever.
Yeah, you kind of saved my life You actually might save my, like, maybe like without this information I would die, you know, like actually.
Based upon your plan beforehand, I think that's quite likely.
Yeah.
Or at least be in prison for a while. Whatever happened with HBO shelving one of your projects?
That was that's, yeah, they just got scared. And there was like 3 other videos with that thing. They were all kind of connected, but yeah, they just got scared that we're like talking about like super elite people that could maybe influence investors with HBO and
yeah. That's why we just launched a streaming platform called C5.now, like with the sole purpose of hosting documentaries that were too hot for the major streaming platforms.
Yeah, that one's definitely too hot for the major streaming platforms.
Well, you're looking for someone to take it?
Maybe. I don't know. We still have a year left on statute of limitations. So the statute of limitations is 3 years. It's been 2 years. So, because otherwise we could go to, I think they were trying to put us in jail for like 20 years. So
that sounds like the exact kind of thing we want to host. So let me know when the statute is up and we'll make an offer.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like, that's what we're trying to do. Like any documentary that like is the subject of a lawsuit that makes it so the streaming platforms don't want to touch it, we'll take that liability on.
C5.now. We have 5 films on there right now. Film number 1, The Art of Protest, made by the homies over at Indecline, who we interviewed a few months back. Film 2, Rat Film by Theo Anthony, set in Baltimore, investigates the lives and times of the rodent population through the eyes of the people who love the rats of Baltimore, study the rats of Baltimore, or are paid to execute and trap the rodents of Charm City. Documentary number 3, Star Cash by Haley Garrigus, an amazing Wall Street documentary that follows the lives of market predictors, that's right, stock analysts who stare at the planets to figure out what's going to happen with the money. Documentary number 4, it's called Physician Heal Thyself by director Asher Penn, a fascinating lifelong profile featuring tons of archival footage documenting a physician, psychiatrist, philosopher, sorcerer of the mind named Gabor Mate. Very influential dude as far as addiction and trauma and healing. He's about as good as it gets. He's the top dog in that realm. So check that documentary out. Documentary number 5 is my own. Had to put my own sauce on there to get the train moving. It is called Finding Orson, a 45-minute documentary that I shot over the course of a year and a half, trying to reunite a beloved friend and elderly community member named Rick Shore with his lost parrot named Orson.
Maybe he's just too embarrassed to admit that he doesn't want the bird anymore.
So those are the 5 films on C5.now. A totally independent, creator residual forward, power to the people documentary platform, not gatekept by Hollywood. And what's unique about C5.now is that unlike the major studios, we're not afraid to take a risk. And of course, pay creators fairly. The link is in the pinned comment and description box of this video. And most importantly, it's not just a website. It's an app on your phone and a smart TV app. So get your popcorn, get your remote, sit down. It's time to learn. I'll see you guys soon.
Shortly after discussing his lawsuit, Ben asked me about my own, curious as to when exactly Bill Joyner filed suit.
Is that what you're doing with Bill Joyner?
No, Bill Joyner got me way before these like elite plans were put into motion. Bill Joyner sued me when I was, I think like 26. And he sued me before he even saw the movie. Because you've seen the movie.
Yeah, it's not even bad, like, about Bill Joyner.
Yeah, Dear Kelly.
Like, when I heard you were in a lawsuit because of Dear Kelly, I was like, it makes sense. And then I heard it was Bill Joyner suing, I was like, what? Like,
yeah, you'd think
why is that guy
it'd be Kelly.
Yeah, I was like, if anything, you kind of were on Bill Joyner's side in a sense, you know? You're like, this crazy guy is after Bill Joyner. Like, this Bill Joyner just seems like a normal dude, kind of.
Yeah. Well, it was like, I more looked at Bill Joyner as being like this source of this like unnecessary grievance for Kelly. So did Bill Joyner steal his home?
Not from what I saw in any of the pleadings. I mean, it looks like he's cherry picking the facts to support his narrative.
I guess you did say, you're like, I am kind of disappointed that he didn't reach out to us for an interview or something. So maybe he was pissed off that you said that, I don't know.
I think he was just pissed that his name was being brought up in connection to Kelly in any capacity.
Dang, I guess the moral of the story is watch the movie before you sue someone.
Yeah, or just realize that if you do sue someone and you're lying, like they can publicize it.
Yeah.
If they think like you and I.
I guess from their perspective, like these are like older people that are suing both of us.
Yeah.
So they were probably suing people before the internet, you know? And so before, because I know in my case, the CEO, he sued his own dad and it worked out well for him, I think. Are they like settled and stuff?
Eamon McNeff, who is the owner of Bricks and Minifigs, so is his brother, Eamon, and his brother, Matthew. And they're suing, among other people, their own dad, Daniel McNeff.
No one knew about it because I guess this is all happening with like small town people, you know, that don't really use the internet and stuff. But I think it's like the internet grows and stuff. I think we're gonna start seeing less of this in the future. But it's cool to like take advantage of it now while like let's have these stupid people sue us. These old-fashioned people sue us before they learn. But yeah, soon enough people might learn the lesson where it might start happening, and then I can't make content anymore, and that'd be sad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can make content without getting sued, but it does help.
Yeah. No, the lawsuit's definitely helping a lot. It's really funny how like they think it's like, oh, by suing him, it's going to hurt him, but then ultimately it just like has like the opposite effect.
Yeah, I think that part of the reason your story like really caught on is because like the sweetness of the initial collection. It's like this family. They have a multi-generational, multi-decade like Lego and figurine collection. Like it's so sweet, dude.
They're bullying this like nobody of a family. Like they don't want fame. They're just some small like rural middle class family, you know. And it's like, why would this corporation try to bully that? You know, it just makes no sense. I don't know. It's just such a sad story. Like it's like just give the Legos back, you know. But hopefully this is a lesson for all future corrupt companies. Don't be corrupt, or else we'll go and infiltrate you and expose you to the world.
Why do you think the support has been so intense for your case in particular? Like, what about it made people really galvanized to like want to donate and just follow the story with such scrutiny?
Bricks and Minifigs is forever going to be a name that lives in infamy, I imagine, from this point forward.
A $200,000 Lego collection went missing, and after seeing the cops point guns at YouTubers, people get arrested and sued for $1.3 million, I decided enough was enough.
I think a lot of people have been screwed over by the police and also like big corporations, you know, like how a corporation will screw you over and they're like, oh, contact our customer support. And then you're on customer support for like 5 hours and you're like, oh, this can't get solved. So the next day you call them for like 5 or 6 hours and they're like, sorry, we can't help you. And they hang up and it's like, you know, it's like people getting like in my world, it's a lot of people like getting their Instagram accounts deleted or YouTube accounts deleted. You know, it's just big corporations screwing over little people. And then there's nothing the little person can do because they don't have power, you know? And so I think I went about it in a way where I didn't do it like the Mr. Beast method, what I call it, you know, where it's like I just throw a bunch of money and resources because then it's just like, oh, now we're fighting power with power.
Yeah.
But the way I went about it was I did it from the perspective of someone with no resources or anything, like no lawyers, no nothing. Like I did everything a lawyer would tell me not to do. We kind of stood up to this company, you know, and we kind of are kind of defeating them with literally no resources and just from our creativity. And I think it kind of does send a message of like, oh, like you're getting screwed over. If you're creative enough, you can stand up to this big company too, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I would have done like the Mr. Beast method, like when I watch a Mr. Beast video, it's when he helps out people. The only thing I think in my brain, he built like 100 wells for people in Africa. And I'm just thinking like, well, he can only do that because he has so much money, you know, like if I had $1 billion, I could do that easy peasy, you know, and it doesn't really inspire me to go out and do good things myself, you know, but, so I try to do this a little bit differently where it was like, well, if you're smart and creative, like, you know, like all the schemes we came up with and stuff, it's like, you can stand up to this person. You just got to be creative, you know? And
yeah, I like what you said about like, you know, the bureaucracy of like people picking up the phone for customer support and just feeling like they're a human lost in a sea of robots. And I don't know if it's like with the advent of AI or if it's just like the growing inequality in the country and just like being treated so poorly by authority figures across the board. But I just feel like there's just this fatigue with these like impersonal systems of like control and domination of your life by like robots. You know what I mean? It feels like even traveling, like flying in planes now, it's like they're making the seats smaller and smaller. It's self-checkouts only. Like you have to pay for water. It's like nothing is free. It's like people are trying to run you into a slow death by nickel and diming every move you make.
Yeah. And then a lot of times, like, I mean, I felt it so many times where like I get screwed over and it's like, I'm in the right, but there's nothing I can do because I'm just some person with like barely any money in my bank account, you know? And
yeah,
I think a lot of people felt that feeling and they're like fed up, you know, and they want to see the small guy succeed, you know?
I think that also explains some of the support for Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if the manifesto is real and he killed the, you know, CEO of a health insurance company because they denied a healthcare claim for him when he was going through a back injury, you know, if that's true, it would make sense that the support is like people see no solution. And they're like, well, this guy just did something crazy and outrageous, but we all are affected by this common problem. So like he's a voice for us. I'm not saying that you're the same, but I mean,
yeah, I don't want to kill Bricks and Minifigs.
No, but you essentially killed their reputation. I mean, no matter what happens with this case, no matter if you go to jail for 127 years or 20 years, or if you're liable in civil court for $1 million in damages, the public, the greater public, will always associate the Bricks and Minifigs name with fraudulent business practice.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, no matter how much money they spend in court to jam you up, them, along with Bill Joyner, will always live in infamy for the way they treat people.
I think Bill Joyner could maybe get out of it but it seems like he doesn't want to. I don't know. Like if he ended his lawsuit and be like, hey, sorry, like my lawyers just did this without my knowledge and stuff and said all this. Like I'm a busy man. Like I just followed my lawyers. They're all fired and stuff. I think Bill Joyner could get out of it. But you're right. I think just from what I've seen, it seems like he probably is just the crooked person Kelly was talking about. There's more people like that than we think. Because the same thing happened to me with Bricks and Minifigs. It wouldn't be unbelievable for me to be like, oh, he is just a slimy person that wants to get away with stuff and like drag things out and hurt the little guy, and I don't know.
So your crisis PR advice to Bricks and Minifigs would be to give the Legos back, do a chicken dance Instagram video.
They can say that they're sorry by doing the chicken dance, and I will take that as a sincere form of apology, and once they do the chicken dance, then I will know that Bricks and Minifigs is sorry.
What will be your crisis PR advice to Bill Joyner?
Ooh, I would say, first off, like speak the truth. So like if what I just, like I wouldn't lie and say that, like, oh, it's just the lawyers and stuff if it wasn't the case, but maybe that is the case, and maybe the lawyers just saw it and he's just a busy business guy and he's like, oh, I just saw this thing, I was getting hate for it and I wanted to sue him. I do a lawsuit every day, I didn't think anything of it, like maybe that is the case. I think transparency is always the best, just be open, because people just don't like it when you hide stuff. Like if you have something to hide, people take it way better if you just come out and say it, rather than, because people are like, oh, if I hide it, then people won't know. But like, if you come out and just say a bunch of terrible stuff, then people will probably accept. Like, I think that's why people like Donald Trump so much. He comes out and just says everything.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account.
Only Rosie O'Donnell. But it's terrible stuff he's saying, but people come out, he just says it, and people are like, that man tells the truth, and I like that, One of the best anti-cancellation things I've ever seen was probably Sneeko.
Yeah.
Because Moist Critical made that video just destroying Sneeko, right?
You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you are?
They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags.
Like he was like destroyed, and then they literally, Sneeko was like cold and Moist Critical. He's like, let's do a live stream together, and they just talked it out. And then by the end, Moist Critical was like, I'm not even mad at Sneeko anymore, And then I think people aren't really that mad at him anymore, But I think he was just like open and like he was like, yeah, I did some terrible things, but he was just honest about it, and people like forgave him, I guess.
I'm officially retiring the soy boy image. I forgive everybody who advocated for my cancellation or made documentaries about me, and I'm ditching my attacking style of streaming. And I apologize to Moist Critical.
So the more you retreat from conflict or controversy, you feel like the bigger it will rear its head in the future when you try to outrun it.
Maybe, probably, yeah. I think people just get upset when you're like trying to hide things, because they're like, what's like, or like when you're trying to like hurt someone else for your own gain, people hate that too. I haven't been canceled yet, so I don't know, but.
Well, you've been sued and you have criminal charges pending.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean, that's been my strategy.
Canceled by the law.
Like I get sued and I'm just like, hey, here's everything. I've been starting to release all the raw files and stuff because they're trying to claim I'm like editing things to fit a narrative. So I've just been, I think in the last like 3 days, I've released like 2 like major conversations of just the raw footage. And so I can just be like, hey, like here's the footage. You can just see it for yourselves, and people are really liking it. I mean, there's a few things in there where people were like, oh, you probably didn't handle this the best. Like I think the owner told me to leave and I didn't leave, So people were like, oh, Ben didn't handle this perfectly, but I'm glad he posted it, and now I can see what's actually going on. And it gained, even though I didn't handle it the best, it got me even more public support, I think,
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I wouldn't have known about it if you didn't, take the route that you did. I'm curious about some of the schemes that you took in the legal system to avoid, or just to kind of shake things up, specifically when you tried to transfer the case from a civil to a criminal matter by creating a lottery in Oregon.
Yeah.
How did you think of that?
So I'm kind of stupid when it comes to the law. They kept saying it's a civil case. I'm like, what's that mean? I knew civil meant like court stuff, but I didn't really know what it meant. So I just Googled like, okay, what is a civil law and what is a criminal law? And I just like went down like all these like websites of like, okay, here's all the list of civil laws, here's the list of criminal laws. And one of the things I saw in criminal was stealing from a lottery. And I was like, well, what if we just sold one of these sets through a lottery, and then if they don't give the prize and they're stealing the prize, that would be criminally illegal, and now the police have to do something. And so, I don't know, I put probably like 10 minutes of thought into it maybe. What if we do a lottery? Yes. But that was my like train of thought. That's like all these things. I went to school as a mechanical engineer, so I'm used to just like coming up with experiments. So what I was taught in school is you create an experiment, and you just record the results. You don't really be like, I hope this happens. I hope that maybe this could happen. Like I have a hypothesis, like maybe it could go this way, maybe it could go this way. But at the end of the day, let's just do the experiment and record the results. So I treat all these schemes the same way, where it's like, maybe this works, like let's do a lottery, and that's like my science experiment, and then we'll record the results. And I gave the police the law book, I'm like, it says right here, it's a criminal crime, and they basically shut the law book, and they were like, we're leaving, we don't want to deal with your schemes. Well, I don't think we broke the law.
What's your opinion? That part doesn't matter, but here it's pretty black and white.
Because right now, you guys said the law we broke is the falsifying the raffle.
No, let's do this. Let's just call it, and we'll just go from here, all right, guys? Just please.
So that was the result, and I recorded that and then put it in the video. But that's kind of the format I used for that video, was just experiment 1, record the results. Experiment 2, let's film it, record the results. I just did it like a science experiment.
As far as the criminal case, do you have any schemes you're cooking up right now, like maybe the insanity plea?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. But it's hard to fake though, because people try it all the time.
I think Nathan Fielder did that, right? Didn't he take some guy and he was like, I think it was the TV episode where he's like, we went through little doors, we put an alligator in there, and then he's like, this person's insane,
We put an alligator inside a small room, basically with a small door, and we would have customers coming in to get a $1 TV, basically.
Is this insanity we're witnessing, or?
I'm seeing psychosis. Okay, I'm seeing delusional thinking.
Is there any way you could put that in writing for me?
And then that way, if he got in trouble for the scheme, they could plead insanity. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. I like that idea. I mean, I don't want to copy someone else. I feel like I would be copying him if I did that. But
well, they moved the whole case to Utah, despite the fact that the store was in Oregon. Because the company's based in Utah?
Yeah, and I think also the judge is Mormon, and maybe they're like, oh, if we get a Mormon judge, you can see they got that TRO without even letting them hear my side. They got no bail. Normally, you have to put a bail, like a huge bail in case you're wrong, then that bail can pay for the damages, and the judge grants it with no bail, which all the YouTube lawyers were saying, like, that's crazy. Like, how could that be possible? Like, we've never seen something this ridiculous. Like, there must be some collusion going on.
The other thing that has come up here is a local police need to be investigated, and that goes without saying. They've done some things here that clearly are shady.
If I had to guess, maybe that's why, I don't know.
Do you think that if you were like a traditional journalist with a press card or a helmet instead of a YouTuber, you'd be taken more seriously by the Mormons out there?
That's a good idea. Maybe I should make myself a press card, just be like, hey, I'm actually the press. A lot of people have been telling me to get a private investigator license. They said it's like $200. You just fill out a little piece of paper and you get you don't have to do anything. You just pay like $100 or something. And then they were like, oh, that could make you have a lot of credibility. So I'm thinking about doing that.
International press corps too is like $200.
Really?
Just put in your info, show them your portfolio, and you'll be good. You get a press card. I'm just saying, if you want to convince old authority, like boomer institutional
magistrates. But that's not fun, because then the audience is gonna be watching at home. And they're like, oh, well, Ben can only get away with this because he's the press, or he's a private investigator. I want to do all my schemes from the point of view of the person sitting at home. I want the person at home to be like, I could have done that,
So do you think everybody being sued right now should just make a YouTube channel?
Maybe, because if you're not a good storyteller, no one's gonna watch it. You know?
It's true. You'd have to get some broadcast lessons or figure out how to package a story for entertainment value. Any extroverted person getting sued, I believe, should create content of some form if they're, innocent and being bullied in civil court.
What would be cool would be to start a podcast where we could have those people on, and then they just tell their story. And then it's if the podcast already has a lot of subscribers and already has a fan base, then people could hear their stories, That could be cool.
Should we open up an email address for this?
Yeah, that's what I did. I said, if you have a problem the police can't solve, email me at this email.
And you've gotten 10,000 emails.
In a week, yeah.
And you were in the Burning Man line sifting through them in the heat last year.
Yeah, we've been waiting in line for Burning Man for 14 hours now. So we posted it as we were on our way to Burning Man. In the line for Burning Man, because it rained, I think it was a 23 hour line. Actually, no, we were actually in the line for over a day for sure. So there's 3 of us just going through the emails for a whole 24-hour period.
And that's how you got the minifigs lead.
Yeah. And all my other leads, yeah.
Oh, sick. So the users really help you get new stories to cover.
Yeah, no, people, you have a bigger audience than I do, so you'll probably even get more than that.
Well, half the time it's people lying because they want to hang out.
Really?
Yeah, remember we opened up editor applications? Half of them just showed up and they're like, what's up? We're like, can you edit? They're like, no, but I'm really trying to learn how. I love your shit. I'm just like, no, dude. Well, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but the hard part about hiring editors is we have a very specific vision of how we want things to be. And when you hire someone, it's just if they can't hit it exactly, it just feels like you're wasting time.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Yeah, but I really think you should get some editors. I just hired 5 editors.
Dang.
I used to have 2 or 3. Now we have 8.
Whoa, that's sick. Yeah, because that's like the main thing. Like most of my videos are already filmed. They just need to be edited. It sucks.
You said you have more than a dozen videos in the chamber right now?
Yeah.
Dude, you got to get some editors.
Yeah, I know. Well, I did just hire some like a couple days ago, but I haven't really seen any of the drafts yet.
Because that makes your life so much easier, especially you're like me. We love to be in the field. We don't want to be sitting in an office all day editing.
I don't know. I love it all. I love storytelling. I love filming the stuff. I love turning it into something that like I feel like I'll enjoy in the future. I love everything, like the whole process.
The only part, I love the positivity, but for me, I don't know if it's a repetition thing, but just like the process of Adobe Premiere editing, I don't know, it's become this like pet peeve where I'm just like, oh my God, because it's just so administrative and like clerical. Like I'm just not very like techie, and I wish I could film every day. My favorite part is the doing. And like I love filming.
I'd say so too, yeah.
I love filming and posting. I love seeing how people react to stuff, and I love capturing it, but everything in between just feels like nails on a chalkboard for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good little like break for me of like to like recap like what I did and like learn like, oh, I could have done this better, you know, because you don't really capture your mistakes when you're filming because you're like so in it, you know. Yeah. But then when you're like back at the editing thing, I'm like, oh, I could have done this better. I could have said that. I could have been better here. Like, oh, I chickened out, but like now I'm in the editing room. Like, why did I chicken out? Like that wasn't scary. Like, you know, now that I'm like not feeling the nerves and stuff. So then next time I film, like, okay, I'm not gonna go back to the editing room and be pissed off that I chickened out again. So I really got to do it, you know. And I feel like it gives me like extra pressure to go harder. I don't know. So I like it, but it would be cool to have some helpers though.
You definitely need some. So where are you living nowadays? I know you're from Ohio, but you're living in a car in LA for a while. Do you have a home?
I do now, yeah, just in Hollywood.
Oh, sick, like Hollywood proper?
Yeah.
Like Walk of Fame style?
No, East Hollywood.
Oh, that's a great area, man. Have you been to the Bolt coffee shop on Sunset?
No, I don't go out to eat, really. I just eat the same food every day. Because I want to spend all my money on YouTube videos, you know?
Oh my God.
I just meal prep like every Monday and it lasts a week. It's quinoa. Well, it used to be pasta, but I upgraded to quinoa.
Nice job.
Because quinoa is way healthier. It's a little bit more expensive. Before I couldn't afford quinoa, so that's why I did pasta. But I finally upgraded to quinoa. I just put in like 6 or 7 vegetables like broccoli, green peppers, like I don't even know. I just take vegetables, I just toss them all in, like mushrooms and stuff, and onions, and then I usually get some type of meat, like chicken. It's like the healthiest meat, I think, so I usually do chicken. And then I get pesto sauce, and I mix it all together, and put it, the Tupperware is like this big. It takes up like a whole thing in the fridge, and it lasts me like a week. That way, all my time and all my money just goes straight into YouTube.
So you don't have any real hobbies outside of this? Hey.
I gotta
what
go,
up?
But
Hey.
This is my old management.
Amazing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. John Silva was here. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, you good? You can come on here if you want. Great to meet you.
What up?
Hi. How's your lawsuit going? Did you big interview?
Yeah, you can be on camera though.
Hi. Hi, Courtney. Hi, nice to meet you.
It's so great to meet you.
Her name. This is my old manager's office. Nirvana's old manager, John Silva.
No way.
Yeah, Beck, Beastie Boys. Yeah, this is my old management for 1990.
Whoa.
To like 97.
That's crazy to think about because now it's like a ghost town around here.
Fucking, yeah, I used to come up here all the time. Money, drugs, dances.
In this room?
Yes.
In this room?
Yeah. This is the corner office. Danny Goldberg.
Of this floor?
This room. Right
Whoa.
here, corner office.
Who worked here?
John Silva. First Danny Goldberg, then John Silva.
Oh my God, so you've done drugs in this room before.
Well, yeah. Advances. Pay lawyers for lawsuits.
Wow.
To sue journalists. Oh, I did a few interviews in here. To
That's
clear
pretty
up some
cool. It'd be awesome to get
Are you
like...
clearing up misconceptions? Is that what you're doing?
Well, thankfully, the internet's fully on his side.
Yeah, I know. I'm on his side. We're all on his side.
We're on the opposite side now.
We're on his side. The crooked judges.
We're the journalists being sued.
What do you think about the ongoing lawsuit?
I am fully on Ben's side. We're all on
Yes.
In your decades of experience in this kind of game, do you think he's going to come out on top?
Yeah, I think so. I think that people can see all sides of it. I don't think there's a monoculture like just telling fucking their side. It's very clear that like the narrative, because he always had cameras, the kids always had cameras when they're saying, oh, they had heroin. I mean, like back in the day, the grown-ups would have just entirely been believed.
So you feel like now...
See how that could have happened. So as somebody who that happened to, you know, I really, obviously, I could like feel, you know, what was happening to those kids, to him and those kids.
So do you think that in your day, if you had the power of the media to like speak your truth, things would have been different?
No, of course not.
No, but I mean, like if you had a big platform, like, I mean, you came up in the pre-internet times.
Yeah, I came into the monoculture, like fighting these grown-ups in this, you know, it's like, it was pretty futile, but it's really nice to see you guys like take control of shit. It's really great.
Definitely.
It's called the overculture now. It's like mainstreams and mainstreams and I think just like I changed my algorithm. I started like different accounts on Instagram. Like all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, like UFC is really big. Like Shakira's really fucking famous.
Do you think it's cooler now or cooler back then?
It's like there's a lot of different mainstreams, and people stay in their algorithms and they believe stuff. And like,
what you said is so crazy and so true. Like in the 90s and before, like if you were famous, like everybody knew you. Now there's like 8 or 9 or 1,000 pockets of fame, so you could be famous to one group and like nobody would know who you are.
It's like I looked at Kai Trump. She's a Trump granddaughter. I looked at the comments in Kai Trump's account. And they're saying, my son's in the military, would you meet him? Somebody's under the comment and they say, our first family, they're so beautiful and they only marry multimillionaires within themselves. It's literally like a peasant class who is like, oh, you know, that's all they do and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I just felt really bad. If you just change your algorithm, it would be okay, that's all.
Well, I guess you'd have to like pictures of dogs every day or pick like a really specific
That's
niche.
Yeah, the liking is a weak signal. No, you got to engage with the comments. That's why I found like UFC. Like UFC is big. But you know, change your algorithm, change your mood.
No, I think the same thing. I think you say the same thing all the time. Like,
yeah, I mean, like basically, if the algorithm knows that you are outraged by something in particular, they can keep your eyeballs for longer with cortisol and dopamine. 100%. So, like, if they know something makes you mad, they will feed it to you and over again. Like, their goal is to make you as pissed as possible about any variety of things.
As it only benefits me when somebody puts a nasty comment on my shit. Like the people that leave nasty comments on my shit are good for my brand, and like they keep getting served Courtney shit. Fuck you! And like those people are really good for me. But like they don't understand why they're being served Courtney shit. I piss off a lot of people.
Courtney's brash behavior has struck a nerve with her followers who air their opinions on the computer internet.
Yeah.
My dislike in the Gallup poll is a big, healthy, Nickelback size, like dislike list. But, you know, that's the price to do business in this office back in the day. So, you know, I get served to those people and they don't understand they're being completely manipulated. I have checked with the fucking dark overlords, like this is how it works. By the way, those offices at CAA didn't say, hey, Courtney, change your own algorithm. They were like, Courtney, but this is, by the way, how it works for your brand. So I get served, the brand of me gets served to those people. By the way, you weren't in my algorithm.
I'm not. What?
I had to search you.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
oh, is he a thing?
Yeah.
What?
Channel
Apparently
5.
you're a big thing. And you're in John Silva's old fucking office.
Hell yeah. Can we get a pic together real quick?
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I'm not wearing makeup. Can we?
Oh,
It's
no.
fine. We'll Facetune it with the phone.
Can you Facetune it?
Editing.
That was a really embodied conversation for not wearing any
Horizontal.
makeup. Do it again.
First it's Donna, then it's Uncle, then it's Reckless Band.
What were we talking about?
We were talking, I think it was the editing capacity. If I had, and not that you need my advice, but I'll just tell you from personal experience, it's made my life so much more fun.
Really?
Because I can, dude, the weight of having amazing footage that I love unedited is like the worst feeling. Knowing that like you have like some shit you care about so much that's just sitting on a hard drive because you don't have the time to sift through it.
Yeah, that's my situation. Yeah,
dude.
It's like so much footage. Yeah, I just haven't had the time to edit it yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like having AIDS, but it's not. Having AIDS is worse.
Yeah, I would rather have edited footage than AIDS.
Yeah, for sure.
no.
But having unedited, I mean, you know, we were talking about how you kind of don't have many hobbies because of the YouTube grind.
Yeah, I haven't worked out in like 2 months. It sucks. I usually work out every day, and it's been just so busy.
What do you do when you're in there?
So I rock climb usually, and then muscle ups, like one arm pull ups.
Oh, because you're skinny enough, you can do crazy calisthenics shit.
Yeah, like human flag stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like working out because it's like boring. I like it being fun. You know, it's like rock climbing for me. It's like working out, but it's like a game. You know, it's like you can see yourself get better. You can see yourself do routes you've never been able to accomplish, and you see the self. It's not just like lifting weights for the sake of lifting weights. It's like, oh, I have like a goal. You know, it's fun.
Are you? Do you have any vices?
A vice, like
do you
alcohol
spend time
and stuff?
partying and shit, or not really?
No, a vice. Maybe heroin.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are substances in the vehicle.
No, I'm just kidding. I've never tried heroin. Trying to think. No, probably not really. Oh,
Like you don't go to like Dairy Queen at 2 o'clock in the morning and just like get yourself on like a real preschool.
No,
out.
I just eat that same food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Because they say no man is without vice. I'm wondering, like, whenever you want to get out of your grind set mode, is there anything that you do that people would say, geez, that guy's nuts?
I like exploring abandoned buildings and stuff. It's fun.
That's pretty crazy.
I don't know if that's a vice.
It depends who
do
you
it for
ask.
fun. Yeah, maybe it's a vice.
I mean, urbex is definitely, so maybe breaking the law is the vice.
Yeah, but I don't do it in a way to hurt people. I do it for like exploration, you know? I'm trying to think of other cool vices I have.
I guess that counts, just like breaking into stuff. Just like something to kind of like stimulate that part of your mind that's like, I'm breaking loose.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Usually I just film everything I do, usually. I'm either filming or editing. I feel like that's like pretty much it. Cause that's like what's fun for me, you know? Anything else, I'm just like, oh, I'm kind of like if I was to like go out to eat or something, you know, I'd be like, what's an hour I could be spending editing, you know? I could have just like made a quick meal in like 5 minutes and I could have been like eating while watching raw footage, you know? Like, I don't know, I'd just be like sitting there like doing nothing. I'm like, I'm wasting time. If I had unlimited time, I would love going out to restaurants, you know, it'd be so fun, but like, it's just not my top priority. It's like a low priority, you know? It's not like I don't like it, it's just not my top priority.
But it seems like you do it because you love creating content and like capturing investigative footage, unlike Clavicular, who's like just doing it because he feels like he'll lose status without, you know, metric success online.
Oh no, that's so sad. Dang. I watched that interview. That's actually how I found out about Clavicular, was from your interview. I thought it was really funny how he stormed off.
If you want to be completely disingenuous, that's fine with me. I guess there's just no point to continue.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
But it was weird with him because everything was going pretty well.
Yeah, it seemed like it was like a good interview, and then
I think he wanted me to, you know, ask him about looks maxing advice because he thought I was cripplingly insecure about something, which I'm not. I mean, if I had,
are you really happy with how you look?
Oh, definitely.
In the morning, you like, you really?
If I had a dream situation, I would be 10 pounds lighter. Because I'm 196, I would be 186, 185.
Really?
Yeah, and I would get rid of all acne forever. But that's basically it. I think those things are doable. So like, I wouldn't seek looks maxing advice because that would imply that I need like peptides or bone smashing or some kind of protocol. I'm pretty sure if I stopped drinking beer, went to the gym more often, and just, you know, was on a balanced diet, I could deal with those things. I didn't want to tell Clavicular that because he was fishing for like any insecurity to sort of take control of the conversation.
To then sell you a product. It's like what Scientology does. They find out, oh, where are you unhappy? Oh, we have a solution, and they give you the worst solution ever. Yeah. I feel like Clavicular would probably do the same thing.
Yeah, he would go far in Scientology.
Well, you're not happy with how you look, you gotta smash your jaw.
Yeah, and he's used to truly like talking to people who like view him as like a legend, and they're genuinely like have weight problems, like severe aesthetic issues.
What can I help you with? You want to start looks maxing?
And you know, they're paying him, how do I get sexy, Clav? And he's like, here's what you gotta do. Take Ozempic, inject steroids into your ass and lift.
Is he allowed to advertise steroid use? Because I've heard the same thing. He just advertises like steroids and stuff.
I mean, there's no one to fire him.
I mean, not fire him, but like sue him. Like when some parents be like, oh, my 16-year-old's doing steroids. This influencer told him to do it. He paid money for that. Is that like a suable thing?
I mean, I'm sure looks maxers die all the time.
Really?
We had one die a few days ago from injecting something widely promoted by Clav and others.
He started doing the gold injections. The gold was for two reasons. One was for looks maxing to change his skin color.
The issue there is that Clav isn't making these methods up. They're common methods in looks maxing. So you can't like sue a culture. Like Clav goes on looks maxing forums for information about what to do to make himself have like an angular jaw or a facial harmony score, as they call it. You'd have to like sue the movement. Maybe Bricks and Minifigs could do it. You know, you'd have to have a lot of money. But okay, back to the legal stuff. Do you think that the US is in need of court reform? Do you think people should be able to sue each other to the extent that they're allowed to right now?
It is so strange to me how, it's like the more money you have, the more likely you are to win, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like I think in other countries, isn't it who's ever legally in the right should win and who's ever legally in the wrong should lose, I think.
Yeah.
I think some other countries operate that way, but
nobody
America
has our civil system except us. Our legal system in the civil courts is like a joke. It's insane.
So then what's the solution to that? I've thought of what's the problem, what's the solution? I haven't thought of a solution because what's the solution? You fire all lawyers and just have me fight against you, but then what if I don't know the law? Like you should probably have someone, I should be able to hire someone, and if I can't afford one should be appointed to me, which we have. So, but then the one that's appointed you is bad, and
I'm the public defender. I have a right to be here, and I have a right to stand here and represent
sit
my
down.
clients.
If you want to fight, let's go out back and I'll just beat
Let's go
your
out
ass.
Well, I think there should be civil public defenders. In the same way that if you're charged with a crime, you can get a public defender in criminal court. In civil court, you either have to represent yourself, which is super hard and time consuming, and time is money, or you have to hire a lawyer or get someone to work pro bono, which is hard. My personal take on the situation is the barrier to suing someone in civil court for things like defamation should, one, be extremely high. So high that you have a series of judges and courts review it over and over before you're even allowed to serve somebody. And secondly, anybody being sued should get a great civil public defender, especially if it's a bullshit case like mine or yours. Because if you get charged with a crime, you get defended no matter what.
well, we have anti-slap laws, and
But you still have to hire a lawyer.
Yeah, you still have to hire a lawyer for it. But so the anti-slap laws are really good. I think that's a good step in that right direction. But yeah, it just there's something so weird to me about me, because I was in a couple situations where it's like, shoot, I might actually go to jail for a really long time. Oh wait, I have $5,000 I can pay this lawyer. Oh, okay, I can just get out, and I'm like, I'm good now, you know, where I wouldn't have been good before. It's like, well, what happens if that person, if I didn't have like, what if this happened to me 2 years ago when I was still living in my car, you know, like I would have just been in jail for like 20 years maybe, you know, and the action's the same, but the result is different because of money, and that makes no sense to me.
I can't help but think it has to change.
Yeah, maybe with basic universal income, I don't know, then everyone will just be rich, and the robots will do all the jobs we don't want to do.
Yeah.
And we'll all get money, and then we can all afford lawyers. It'd be sick.
Yeah. Who's someone you look forward to maybe being sued by in the future?
It'd be really fun. Can't talk about that yet,
You can talk about, like, okay.
Shoot, that's a cool one. I kind of just take my projects like one at a time. I don't know, I guess I have those like 12 projects, but I can't like mention them because
Yeah, I get it.
it sucks. I'm like still undercover. Like even I'm still undercover. Like I still think I'm like a 17-year-old kid. Like I haven't like revealed myself yet to them. So
I think you could pull off 17.
yeah.
I think that over time, I think if you become so recognizable that you can't go undercover anywhere, you'll be able to have a little army of people to do the bidding for you, and you can be more editorial.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we did with the bricks and minifigs thing. I got trespassed within the first like 5 minutes of the video. So the rest of the video was just me sending in people, you know, on my behalf. I guess me and Tyler are staying back because we're already trespassed. It sucked because I would put on my Instagram story, I'm like, hey, like I need people to show up, and I'd have like 4 people show up. But now it's like, I feel like hundreds of people would show up, and it'd be crazy.
Do you ever worry about your fans going too far on your behalf? I do.
If they go too far, I think that's a wrong way to word it. I think people have actually graffitied the bricks and minifigs store, which I'm like super against. They're like harassing innocent locations and stuff, so that could be considered going too far. But I don't say it's on my behalf because I say don't do that. I've been on like every single news station I've been on, every single interview. I've always said don't harass the innocent stores. Like corporate is also screwing them the same way corporate screwed Brian. So by you harassing the stores, you are siding with corporate, you know? Yeah. So I don't think that's on my behalf at all. I feel like if anything, that's on corporate's behalf, you know? So if people are going too far, it's not on my behalf, you know?
Oh, I totally agree. After I made my fundraiser video, they added an amended complaint to the new lawsuit where they were like, oh, people keep calling us and saying like, what's up, or something. They kept saying that. People kept calling
Well, do you want them to do that?
No, not at all.
Well, then it's not on your behalf. They're doing it against your behalf, actually, because you said not to do that. So in the lawsuit, they should actually correct that by saying the fans are disobeying Andrew. Andrew told us not to, but the fans are doing it anyway. So Andrew actually tried helping us in this situation. We're pissed off at the fans. So maybe they need to
I can even do it right now. Hey, if
lawsuit.
you're a fan of mine, stop harassing Bill Joyner's lawyers. I disagree with what they're doing, but it reflects poorly on our support base. And it's also just not good in general to harass people. At the end of the day, lawyers are humans too. And like I always say, all lives matter.
So now Bill Joyner's gonna have to update his lawsuit and say, hey, Andrew told him not to harass us. They're still doing it, but Andrew tried. So it's not on Andrew's behalf now, but so now it looks like they're gonna have to update their lawsuit now.
I believe so, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck with all your future lawsuit stuff. I hope you hire some editors if you want to. And overall, I hope you don't get sentenced to jail time.
Oh, nice.
But
Thanks.
If you do, hopefully your friends can keep the Free Ben movement alive.
Yeah, I want to figure out a way to like storm off this interview, but you're saying like very nice things to me, so I don't know what to get like upset and storm off about.
Well, I don't have anything mean to say to you.
Well, dang it.
You're not really the kind of guy I want to be mean to.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm sad that people
Yeah, you too. I feel bad storming off too. I just kind of wanted to, that was just such like a legendary moment when that happened. I felt like, yeah, maybe I don't storm off. Maybe we'll just end it peacefully.
Yeah. Maybe we could overlay the footage of you and I first meeting.
Oh, nice. That's sick.
Area 51 outside the gas station.
Yeah.
Dude, low key, even if there are no aliens in there, we're gonna make history. I'm gonna be the guy that's known for hopping the fence. Ben Schneider hopped the fence.
I remember you told me, you were like, I have this like dream where I'm going to become this like big interviewer guy with this RV. And you're like, it's going to work out. But that's like what everyone was saying, you know? Everyone was like, oh, I'm going to be big and famous someday. And then you actually did. And it was really funny.
Yeah, man. So did you.
You had like a vision and it worked. Well, it took me a long time because I think at the time I was still just like I just wanted to do slacklining.
Yeah, but you said I want to be able to make videos as my full-time.
Oh, I said that?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. That's sick.
Yeah, you were like, I just started doing this, but it'd be sick to like do this and like not have to work.
Yeah, I remember I like just broke my neck like 2 or 3 days before the Area 51 thing.
It's my second time breaking my neck. The doctor said stay in the hospital, and I was like, I'm gonna hop this fence.
So I think I was like probably really feeling it. Like I need to give up this slacklining thing.
Yeah, I think so. I remember you just saying like that, you know, you do it as a hobby, but it'd be cool to not have to be in the workforce. You and your buddy were both saying that. Because you guys were just getting started. I just remember you were like, yeah, it'd be cool. I'm just out here having fun. Like you never were into it for like the money or the status, but I'm happy to see that, you know, you're doing it.
Well, I was a mechanical engineer. I was in a cubicle for 2 years. It was terrible. I hated it. Having a boss tell me what to do, and I like wanted to create all these cool contraptions. I couldn't. You know, I felt like it was like too slow for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to like come up with cooler ideas, but it took a long time. I was living in like miserable conditions for like 6-7 years, but it paid off. I think I had fun. It wasn't comfortable, but it was fun.
When you say miserable, you mean like roaches and stuff?
No, just like I had a $2,000 car with no power steering, no window. My windows got shattered, so it would constantly rain, and then like it would get moldy inside. I remember like just like wanting a window because I was like, if there's like a crazy person, he can just like reach through the window and like mess with me, you know. And then all my life's belongings were just in that car, and someone could just unlock my door and steal my stuff. I don't know. The door didn't close all the way, and that was my house, so it was kind of miserable. But it was also really fun because I could just do whatever I want whenever I want. So it was like good and bad.
Nah, I feel you. I missed the RV.
Yeah, I wish I had, RV would have been sick.
Yeah,
it's like,
you could borrow mine if you want.
Because I was just sleeping, I could like recline to like this, and that's how I slept every night.
You have any message out there to, I guess, young creators of video content who feel like, oh, it's not working for me, I'm just going to become a telemarketer and put the camera down forever?
Oh no, it's so sad. It's the same situation I was in, dude. I don't know. I would say don't do what I did and just become homeless. That's like probably bad advice. Because like once you're homeless, it's hard to get out of that because it's like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. But I would say save up some money, and once you have enough money, just be creative, you know, and think of what can I do that no one else in the world is doing. I think that's what's always helped me is like, what can I do that no one else is doing? If you can't think of anything, then what do I want to do that no one else in the world is doing? Because maybe you're right. Maybe you're not special or unique yet, which most people aren't. But the only difference you have with everyone else is you want to be special and unique. So you can go and figure out what you want to do and practice harder than everyone else. Because at the end of the day, the reason the people that are the best is because they practice more, you know? So if you go out and practice more, then you'll be better than everyone else, and then you can be more successful than everyone else. So.
Yeah, that's I did the Shia LaBeouf interview, and I remember I asked him, I was like, have you always been talented, or what talent do you think it took to get your first role in Even Stevens? And he said, there's no talent, Andrew, there's only push-ups.
Do you believe in talent?
Yeah.
Tell me.
I think as an interviewer, like listening is a talent, but I do look back at certain things.
That's a skill.
Okay, so talent would be like juggling, or
which is also a skill.
Being able to exhale for 2 minutes straight without
which
inhaling.
is also a skill.
So then, by that criteria, I guess there's no talents.
Correct. There is only push-ups.
And it's true, like, you know, nobody's born talented. I mean,
just go out and do a lot of push-ups, and you'll be the best.
But essentially, it's just like
I get the metaphor. Yeah,
practice doing what you're doing every day. Don't be afraid to fail. And most importantly, don't let ideas be stuck on the drawing board for too long. When you have an idea, try it, put it out. If people don't like it, it's okay. Lessons learned, do it again, try something new. You know, I can't even tell you, man, how many amazing documentary filmmakers I know who are sitting on like earth-shattering, paradigm-shifting footage. And they have been for like 5 or 6 years, but it's sitting on a hard drive, already edited even. But they're such perfectionists about it that they can't put it out to the world. They're scared of being judged. They're just scared of, I don't know what it is. They just can't bring themselves to put themselves out there in the public sphere.
That's the other thing is, yeah, no matter how good you think you are, your first video is gonna suck. Like I do this exercise that I tell people a lot. I say, who's your favorite YouTuber? Go to the oldest setting and watch their first like 3 videos and watch how garbage those videos are. And now think to yourself, can I make a video as good as these videos? Probably yes, you know? And like, okay, so I'm at the level that my favorite YouTubers were at when we're first starting, right? So if I just do whatever these YouTubers did, I will be there in like 5 years, you know? Like if it took them 5 years to get good, then if I just do whatever this YouTuber did, I will also be there in 5 years, you know? Because pretty much everyone starts at the same place, which is we suck, you know? If you look at my first couple of videos, they all suck. And all of my favorite YouTubers, all their videos suck too. So we all started out the same. We all suck when we start out.
I made a semi-scripted documentary film called George's Addiction about my buddy George. He couldn't stop smoking cigarettes. That's my first video. I don't even know if you could find it on YouTube, but it was just about how George couldn't stop smoking. And then like the footage was so bad that I had him just like, improvise with like scripted scenes where I was like, go try to buy cigs without paying at the store.
Hey man, can I get give me all your cigarettes, man.
You know, it's just like slow motion videos of him like crying because he didn't have enough money for cigs. You know, I'm like, yo, just do fake crying. Like it's literally like the worst video I've ever seen in my life. But I was proud of it at the time.
That sounds like better than most first videos I see. Like, you know, Mr. Beast, his first like 300 videos were just like the most garbage videos ever. And now he's the biggest YouTuber. I mean, you even had your channel before All Gas, No Brakes, right? So you had a lot of practice before you even started this new channel. So if people go to watch your oldest videos, they're probably not gonna suck, but it's because you had practice beforehand.
And by the way, if you're inspired by Channel 5 or All Gas, No Brakes and you wanna make your first interview, man on street style interviews, don't make it about minorities invading, quote unquote, different parts of the world. I know it's an easy way to get clicks for yourself, but negativity has a very short lifespan. So keep it player and make people's lives better.
Shoot, I think people are doing that. That's so sad.
That's the easiest cop. That's what I hate so much about all my bastard children online, is that they they take what I was doing, which is like giving a voice to people on the street who don't have like a platform, and they're like doing the agenda of like the current US government and going to like different minority neighborhoods and like antagonizing Indians with questions about shitting on the street, or like asking Jews like, how much money do you get from the government, or like asking black people like, why do you do so much crime? And they package it as investigative, and they use AI keyframes of like, you know, like whatever the stereotype is. And these videos do like 10 million views, way more than anything positive. And all the comments are just like, our country's being attacked from within. And so what that looks like in real life is a kid getting bullied at school because he's black or brown or anything. You know, like what that looks like.
All the kids at school, they're like in 6th grade, they don't know any better. They're like, oh, I saw this video that gets millions of views. I want to be cool like this video of making fun of this.
It's creating
so sad.
the conditions for children to be bullied based upon race. And you know, I was a kid at one point, and I know how fucked up kids are. And so I just see this content, it makes me genuinely sad. So yeah, if you take inspiration from me, give a platform to people who don't have one. Don't
that's what I want to do with my platform.
World's richest, you know.
Like I find people that are like using their power for bad, and then I use my internet power to equal them out. You know, it's called punching up humor, not punching down humor.
Oh yeah.
And punching up humor, it's way harder, but way more satisfying for sure.
And you have a fan base that actually likes you. They don't just like that you spread hate.
Yeah.
You know, and it's such a big difference. It takes longer, but it's definitely more worth it. You know, and you might get called like a softie or whatever because you're not going around being a tough guy, bootstraps guy, but it's worth it. The slow grind is the better one because your fan base, when they're with you for longer, they feel more of a connection to you as well. They see the growth. And shout out to my fans. Shout out to all of our supporters. Shout out to Ben's supporters. Shout out to my own. Thank y'all so much for donating to my GoFundMe for legal defense.
Yeah.
And to his as well. We hope to keep getting sued in the future. So if you're someone watching this,
and you have a corrupt company, please feel free to sue us.
File the litigation. Don't even do a cease and desist. Just go straight to the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Any final message?
I feel like that was a great final message. If you're a corrupt company, we welcome your lawsuit. I feel like it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great way to end this.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Great interview. Thanks for coming.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks.
Channel 5 live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine. Fuck the authority. Channel 5 News. Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.